In politics, you must be willing to negotiate. You can't have everything. And when you don't have everything, have something.
Absolutely.
You know, the Southeast needs to be reintegrated into Nigeria.
Yeah.
Not as a favor. I'm not trying to be patronizing,
No.
but because that's a key part of this country. And we're losing a lot. The whole country is losing a lot by shutting out all part of this country and basically saying, let them do what they want to do with each other, with themselves. That is really, really dangerous.
Yes.
And one way in which we can reintegrate, where the North-South-East can be reintegrated into this country, is through the political process. Now, when you say, I want that, and only that, if I can't have that, I will stay out. You could end up being permanently out.
Absolutely.
Because the same way you want it, somebody else will want it.
Recently, the wife of the president, the first lady of the country, was in America, and she was calling for more American strikes in the northern, she specifically stated northern part of the country. She didn't call for strikes in the southeastern part of the country that are suffering from the IPOB and sit at home and issues of separation, agitations of separation, killings that are going on there.
You don't think that it's fair to say that the North is a top priority when it comes to insecurity?
The North is a top priority when it comes to insecurity, but it shouldn't be labeled as a crisis that is based on faith.
Is there a chance
Muslims
that you are misinterpreting the efforts as something that is targeting Muslims or North to destroy the region?
Of course. It is a deliberate act.
But where's the facts?
The facts are numerous. Wherever America in the past 20 years has conducted war, it's in Islamic countries. From Somalia to Yemen to Iraq to recently in Iran. Forgetting the fact that millions of Christians are killed in Palestine today. Millions and millions of Muslims are being killed over the years. The recent count in just the 2025 crisis between the Palestinians and the Israelis, 70,000 people dead. Americans are not focusing on that. The European countries are not focusing on that. So this brings out the hypocrisy in this, in the southern hegemony. In the context of people with certain faith being designated as certain people.
So you're accusing you're accusing the wife of the president of what exactly? What did the First Lady do
The
wrong?
First Lady has called for attacks. The
Against
American
terrorists.
government, she did not mention terrorists.
Who do you think she wants to be
but she
attacked?
did not mention terrorists.
Quoting her
word for word, she called for more strikes in the northern part of the country. That's quoting her word for word. And if you look at the narratives that are being sent out by certain media organizations in Nigeria here, you talk about Fulani herdsmen bandits. You don't talk about Igbo bandits. You label criminality and target to a certain faith or you target to a certain ethnicity is absolute profiling and is condemnable. This is what we need to desist from doing. We should call a criminal, whatever his background of faith, whatever his background of ethnicity, whatever his background of geography where he comes from. A terrorist is a terrorist. A criminal is a criminal. There is no need demonizing so many other people, innocent people. I'm a Fulani man, back and forth. If you say Fulani herdsman bandit, you're including me. There are criminals that I don't associate with. There are criminals that I condemned their acts.
But isn't there a chance that, the possibility that all the things you're saying could be true? However, the same narrative could also be empirical, that the bandits are majority from the Fulani extraction, and there's
Yes, that's coming from one of the northern elders, very influential politician within the Nigerian political space, former aide to the former president, and also was a very close special advisor to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But now I think they have parted ways. It's very, very clear, that ever since Nnamdi Kanu was sentenced to imprisonment in Sokoto, that the North has lost more than ever believed in the history of northern government, and that Nigeria has been experiencing a serious backwardness exposed to the international community, warning that Bola Ahmed Tinubu should move in and dialogue with Nnamdi Kanu with immediate effect, or else What's your reaction on that?
I think for me, that Baba made, it is too late. Because Kanu, as Nnamdi Kanu himself, has done the needful. We've seen how the Sokoto Caliphate was bombed via the influence of Nnamdi Kanu. Because Kanu alone single-handedly took this struggle to the international community. Now that Kanu is in detention, now the relevance and the struggle is getting even more attention compared to when Kanu is outside. Now the North is in disguise, knowing fully well that things are falling apart already. That no matter how they tend to please Nigerians, that most Nigerians and many Nigerians are of the views and are of the opinion that one Nigeria would never work. No matter how we intend to paint it, no matter how we tend to cover it up. That now, as of now, we've seen how American soldiers and the American government, their focus is to even eliminate bandits in the north. And even as it stands now, the congressman has also passed a bill to protect Christians, and that influence has been done. That alone was being influenced by Nnamdi Kanu. And now we've seen even the UN, where some elements are where some congressmen are pushing for the Biafra actualization. So I think the North should not drag the Igbo into their underdeveloped region, because knowing fully well that if the East goes pathway, nothing will be left for them. Knowing fully well that they feed on the resources of the Eastern region. Even Nigerians of today feed on the resources of the Eastern region, and that is why they are trying to do everything just to make peace with the Igbos. You are trying to make peace with the Igbo, yet you sentence Nnamdi Kanu wrongfully. And knowing fully that the Igbos are heavily marginalized in this contraption called Nigeria. So that Baba should not at this point pacify or he should not pacify President Tinubu to dialogue with the North. Now, it has even, they are even going as far to send delegates of about 12 set of a committee that comprises of 12 program elders and then Imam to go and visit Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto prison. After making Nigeria backward for years, and Kanu warned them of the insecurity coming. That this insecurity would not only consume other tribes, and that it will consume even people in the northern region. And now they are looking for solution to cope with insecurity. It's coming because of insecurity. Despite all the approaches and the mechanism that has been put in place to cope insecurity in the north, and yet nothing has been done. You saw it. That I am even happy that Kanu is in detention. Ask me why, sir. Because Kanu is ever since Kanu trial has commenced, Kanu has gone so global. Even he got to a state in US gave Kanu an award, recognized him. A state, I think in Georgia, recognized Kanu, gave him a prestigious award. Now, if only Kanu was a terrorist, would a state, a powerful state in US recognize Nnamdi Kanu and give him such award? So it shows that it is actually a planned work between the Fulanis and this so-called revolution to jail Nnamdi Kanu. And now that they are seeing the effect that things is not going the way as planned, that despite Kanu is still in the international community is still solidly behind him, and it is the major reason why they are running helter-skelter to make sure that Kanu Kanu is left off the hook. We saw a prominent person now, in which she said she will be coming all the way from the US to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. US is even sending delegates very soon to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and then to as well visit State House to reach a cooperative dialogue, because I know that the proposal has written a letter to President Trump, and Trump acknowledged that letter. It is obvious. So it is a very good momentum for the Biafrans, knowing that fully well that now the decision is now in the Oval Office, in the White House. So if Nigeria does not, they don't even need Nigerian approval to consent to it. Once America make that decision, everything, whatever the president likes it or not, he must approve to it. So they know the implication that anytime, any moment from now, the Igbos will exist in the country. That is why they are rushing to Sokoto prison to beg Kanu to stop that exit, knowing that Kanu alone has really give this Biafra a push in the global world. And Kanu said it that, and then Kanu said that his own kind of struggle will not be fought with a vial of gun. It makes me say that he will not fight the way Ojukwu fought. That he will not fight. That his own approaches and then channel or way of achieving the struggle is different. And ever since Kanu started, Kanu has never fought or by anybody. All those thoughts we saw were just mere allegations. And now, as of today, the Nigerian government is in disarray because they don't know what might come out of them. For the first time in Nigeria, that we see that US government invaded the Sokoto Caliphate and broke Sokoto. It was the influence of just one man. That alone, kudos to him. And ever since that man has written about Christian genocide, the US government has taken it more serious. Now, at every point in time, the Nigerian government they are following the Nigerian politics back to back to know how where and how far are Christians faring in Nigeria. If just some weeks ago we saw how the US Congress were proposing for a breakup, in which that matter is still in the first reading. You know, before a law, before a matter becomes a law, it must pass 3 stages: the first reading, the second reading, and the third reading. No, for the lawmakers or for the congressmen to even adopt it, that bill, it shows that Kanu influence has pushed. And don't forget that Susan Willie, the current chief of staff to President Trump, was a former Biafra lobbyist, in which she knows how influential Nnamdi Kanu is. So that is why, as of today, the Netherlands knows that if the Igbo goes, there is nothing left for Nigeria, and they are not comfortable with the Yorubas, because the Yorubas does not have the oil. And that is the only thing keeping one Nigeria today is because of the oil, and that is why they don't want the Igbos to exit Nigeria. Don't let anybody see you. They can easily tell you in the southwest they have cocoa. What are they doing with cocoa? When I tell you that if Igbos exit the country, that today they have cocoa, that say I want to belt all those TV, all those belt assets with cocoa. Ever since I want to that, how many of them is cocoa giving Nigeria money? Every resources now is being tapped in the eastern region of the country. And then that is why I see that they are bitter that whenever the Igbos are pushing for Biafra. Now let me give you a scenario. The Yorubas too are agitating for what old Dudua Republic. Why are they not taking the Yorubas serious in the north? Because not fully aware that Yoruba has nothing to offer to them. Not fully aware that the Yorubas has no national resources for them to tap from. And the only thing keeping the unity of this country is not Igbos. It become the oil. Let's assume that the Igbos don't have oil in their region. Do you think that the North wouldn't have even push for a bill in the Senate for them to go? They would have done that. Just because they know what's the benefits of this oil. That is the only why you see that whenever the issue of Biafra rises, they try everything possible just to suppress people agitating for the struggle.
Yes, on that point, would you say that the Northerners were actually surprised that Nnamdi Kanu was moved to Sokoto instead of Southwest or somewhere, within, even in the Southeast, to serve his imprisonment? What was the motive of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in doing that? Is that a kind of slap or punishment, or they're trying to ridicule, Nnamdi Kanu?
For me, it is not a slap, no, that it's a punishment. It's a way of the Fulanis getting access to Nnamdi Kanu to beg him to drop agitation. That is the only way. Because most persons might not want to, most persons would not want to travel. You don't expect some high-profile delegation to start coming to the Southwest or public travel to Abuja. I know that the Sokoto is the seat of the Caliphate, where most of these Fulani prominent people converge. So it was a planned work with Justice Omoto Shoda moving to Sokoto prison so that these people can have access to beg him. And ever since Kanu have been there, we've seen so many Fulani monarchs going there to plead with him. They have Ogasa, please drop this agitation, tell us whatever you want, so that we can take your demands to the president. And Kanu has remained so adamant, saying that it is not Biafra or nothing. Even there was this story we heard that there was a blank check given to President Kanu, and then Kanu refused. He said he has swore an oath to defend the people, and then he will defend them till the last day on earth. And today, is he not yielding results? It is, because the struggle has gone viral. The struggle has gone international. The struggle is not even it is even beyond the Nigerian government now. The struggle is beyond the Nigerian government. You saw it. It took the intervention of Kanu to tell the people one sit at home has been cancelled, and the people obeyed. So when he said, "I will not fight Biafra with a band of gold," he actually understand what he's saying. That he will do everything to buy the trust of the people and the influence. How many governors, even when the governor of Anambra Soludo shut down market, saying that forcefully told people go to a market on Monday. How many of the traders in that obeyed him? People ignored him. But if Kanu, that is in intention, speak that everyone should go back to their business, people obeyed him. It showed that Biafra is here. You don't need to be told. We are just waiting for the official declaration. People know who their leaders are. You cannot cajole them. No matter how you tend to pretend or tend to push lies towards him. People knows who their leader are. So for me, I think Baba Ahmed at this point should not push any further, because when given the grace, they misuse it.